Hey everybody, how's it going? Chris back for another Blu-ray update review, and I got a bunch of great stuff that came in from Arrow, one of which is Killer Klowns from Outer Space, one of my favorite cult classic horror films from the 1980s, and that's one of them. Also got a spaghetti western double feature, which is the Ringo films. Also, one of Sam Neill's first starring roles in a movie called Sleeping Dogs, which was released in 1977. Also a box set, which is the Jim Suzuki Early Years Volume 2 collection, which is a set of 5 Japanese movies. And also got 2000 Maniacs, which is a individual release of the Herschell Gordon Lewis box set that was released about a couple years ago. So first let's take a look at Killer Klowns from Outer Space, which Arrow gave this film a brand new 4K restoration, which was sourced from the original camera negative, and they did an excellent job, man. It has great balance of grain. Overall, the sharpness is maintained throughout really well, and also has great colors overall. I was really pleased with how this film looks, so which is why I'm going to rate the picture quality a 5 out of a 5. And however, the audio track was really good too, and I'm going to rate that one a 4.5 out of a 5. But yeah, you get 2 audio tracks with this one. You get the 2.0 as well as the DTS HD, which is in 5.1. And the story for this is relatively simple. It's about these aliens that are dressed up as clowns, and they go on a killing spree. And it's just a fun, cheesy horror film, man. And as I said, it's one of my personal favorites. And you get a ton of great special features included with this release, as well as the booklet. And I love the newly commissioned artwork. So yeah, definitely get your hands on this one, man. This is just one of those movies you want to kick back with your friends and just enjoy it for what it is. And next up is a movie called Sleeping Dogs, which is Sam Neill's first starring roles. I believe this is his second film, but the first movie as top billing. And it's directed by Roger Donaldson, who also directed movies such as The November Man with Pierce Brosnan, as well as Dante's Peak, and many other films. And this also introduced us to Sam Neill here in the States, because it's the first New Zealand production that was shown theatrically here in America. And in this film, Sam Neill's character gets framed by the government as a terrorist, and he does whatever he can to escape arrest. And certain aspects of this film reminded me of Rambo First Blood, so when you watch it, you'll see the similarities to it. And the picture quality for this film is okay. It's not great, it's not bad. It's a rather soft looking picture. You will see a little bit of fine detail in certain scenes, but not that much. Overall, like I said, it's just a rather soft-looking picture, and the colors are okay for what it is. But as far as features, you get a 65-minute retrospective documentary on the film's production. You also get a commentary track as well with Roger Donaldson, also Sam Neill, and the writer of the film. Plus, you get the theatrical trailer, the booklet. But yeah, overall, I'm going to rate this one a 4 out of a 5 in terms of the picture and sound quality. And next up is a spaghetti western double feature by Italian filmmaker Tessati, which features a pistol for Ringo as well as the return of Ringo. And personally, I'm a huge fan of western films, from John Wayne to the legend himself, man, Clint Eastwood. You can never go wrong. And both of these films was actually shot in Spain, and you get to hear the film in its original Italian language as well as dubbing in English as well. And the aspect ratio for both of these films are in the 2:35 format. And they were given a brand new restoration, 2K restoration that is, for this release. And picture quality is actually going to vary from the first film to the second film. Personally, I like the look of the second film a bit more because it was a bit sharper. Both films have the grain intact. Colors look nice as it suits the mood and feel, but the first film is a rather soft looking picture, and you'll notice a little bit of specks here and there throughout the film, which is something that I'm used to. It doesn't really bother me. For the first film, I'm going to rate the picture quality a 3 out of 5, and the second film a 4. But in terms of the audio quality, I'm going to rate both of the films about a 3 out of a 5. But yeah, so if you're into Western films, definitely look into this release. And next up, I got a box set, which is the Jim Suzuki The Early Years Volume 2 collection, which is a set of 5 Japanese films, which were made available for the first time ever outside of Japan. And this is a very limited set of only about 1,500 made available here in the States. So if you want this, definitely get this as soon as possible. So this is a set of crime thrillers, and the first 2 films are very much in the style of film noir, from the whole look and feel of it to the music. And those 2 movies are called The Sleeping Beast Within, as well as Smashing the O-Line. And the other films are called Every Hours of Terror, also Tokyo Nights, and The Man with a Shotgun. So in terms of the picture and sound quality, obviously it's going to vary from film to film, but you will notice specks of dirt debris show up on all the films, some print damage, some hissing noise on the audio track, as well as some crackling noises here and there. But in my personal opinion, the film that looked the best out of the 5 is the second film on disc 1, which is called Smashing the O-Line. I like the sharpness on that movie as far as how it looked. Obviously it's not perfect, but it wasn't as bad as the other 4 films. So my rating for the picture and audio quality for all the films is a 3 out of a 5, except for Smashing the All Line. I'm going to rate that one a 4 out of a 5 for the picture and sound. This also features a audio commentary track by critic and author Jasper Sharp on Smashing the All Lines, plus Tony Raines on the crime and action films featurette. And of course you get a 60-page illustrated collector's book featuring new writing by Jasper Sharp, and this is a Region A release. And I also got 2000 Maniacs, and this was part of the Herschell Gordon Lewis box set that was released a couple years ago. So basically Arrow's putting these out individually now too, so you can pick up the ones you find interest in. And if you're familiar with Herschell Gordon Lewis films, his movies are basically full of blood and gore. It's bizarre, and it's just those type of films where you just set your mind off and just enjoy it for its craziness that it is. And besides 2000 Maniacs, you also get Moonshine Mountain. So yeah, this edition is a double feature, and these films were mainly made for the drive-in theater audience back in the day. They loved, watching blood and gore movies on a big screen. And so in terms of picture and audio quality, again, it's going to vary from the first film to the second film, but you will notice scratches on the print. And yeah, so if you love that old school grindhouse feel, this is definitely right up your alley. So yeah, I'm going to rate this one a 3 out of a 5 for the picture and sound quality for both of the films. And this is a region-free release. So there you have it, guys. Those are my latest pickups from Arrow Video. And as always, I appreciate you guys checking out my stuff, and I'll see you guys soon in my next review. Take care.